Yeah, hi, good morning everyone. Today we are here to discuss the answer part of your December 2nd exam, and we'll be covering four questions here with their answers. We'll be looking at the question as per the scenario, what are the possible answers you should produce. So let's start with the answer part. So, friends, your first question and even the task number one is managing risk for those working from home. We all know that as per the scenario, the organization is following government policies and they are allowing their workers to work from home. So, this answer is all available in your scenario. You don't need to consult any book or any other media to answer this question. All the answers should be taken from the scenario since this is a typical case and they have discussed each and everything in the first two, three paragraphs. So we'll be taking our answer from there. Total marks for the question are 10. And as per the question, it is comment on the organization's approach to managing risk to those working from home. You should support your answer where applicable using relevant information from the scenario. So we cannot bring in a new thing here from a book or from any other media. We need to stick to the scenario since the information provided in the scenario is there, and we need to take that information only and we need to put it in our answer accordingly. Guys, we did a research on scenario in my last video, and if you looked at that video thoroughly, then things will be much easier for you to formulate your answers accordingly. So let's see the answer part. So friends, in the first paragraph of your answer, you should highlight some of the important things, especially the benefits of working from home. And since this organization is concerned about workers' health and safety, and they are also following government defined rules and regulations, so working from home is allowed, which has got some other benefits also, which will reduce the overall number of incidents, accidents which used to be at workplaces, which will reduce the ill health problems at workplaces since people are not available at workplace. So these problems will be eliminated. Even some of the enforcement agency related problems like notices and all those things will be eliminated by default, and working from home will get them some benefit for sure. So now, after highlighting the importance, you can start your answer from here. And first of all, allowing workers to work from home to avoid spread of virus in line with government policy. As you remember in the scenario, we highlighted that government has banned people working from the offices, so they are following regulation here, they are following rules here. This is the compliance to the government policy, and apart from that, government has defined some of the general rules also, which include social distancing, use of masks, and some other general rules they are following. So this is a point you are going to highlight first. Secondly, development of new procedure to work from home. Being a health and safety manager, it is defined in the scenario that you have developed a new procedure for people who are working from home, and this procedure will be covering some of the important points which people need to keep in mind while working from home to avoid problems. Workstation setup and further guidelines to avoid stress, anxiety, and ergonomic issues. Guys, organization is very much concerned about their workers' health, and thinking of long working hours and all of stress and anxiety created out of the working from home, they have kept this thing in mind also, and they considered this that they should give some guideline to the workers how to set up their own workstations at home. If you remember in our syllabus, we covered one of the topic where minimum standards of workstations are defined clearly in GC2. So there might be a procedure developed on the basis of those minimum standards to be met for workstations, and people are protected from stress, anxiety, and other ergonomic related issues. This is one of the control. Use of latest technology is another control this organization is applying because people are working from home, so video conferencing, computer-based meetings, and even the use of companies' own intranet to communicate with workers. These are some of the latest technologies this organization is using to avoid any problems. They kept in mind making 30 minutes weekly meetings, contact with the workers to avoid work-related stress for workers. These are not very long hours meetings and only 30 minutes meeting weekly basis so that workers are comfortable enough. For some workers who are not comfortable for group meetings, they have developed one-to-one meetings with their bosses, with their supervisors to communicate confidently. And there is a forum developed, general forum developed for any complaints about working from home or any related issues. So this is another control defined by this organization. And there are many other procedures developed. If you remember in the scenario, after risk assessment, they came up with a list of procedures also. So all of these procedures are developed and very well communicated to each one of the workers to make sure that people know about those procedures and they follow those procedures. So friends, your question number two is also very simple and easy. Its task two is communicating health and safety. And question is effective communication is essential to positively influence health and safety culture. Based on your scenario only, give examples of how communication is effectively used by this organization. Total marks 10. Guys, we all know that health and safety communication is very important. If you have a very good procedure available or a policy available and it is kept in the cabinet, it has got no value. So unless it is communicated to the concerned properly, to the workers, to the supervisors, to the managers, if they know each and everything written in that document and how to follow that, how to proceed with those policies and procedures, then only it is useful. So again, I would say this question, you don't need to consult any other source of information since the examiner is pushing you to follow only scenario and he would like to know whether you are able to identify all of those communication methods used by this organization or not. And it is clearly mentioned all of those methods which this organization is used in the scenario. So let's see how to answer this question. So friends, as a normal routine as we used to do, we need to write one paragraph on the importance of communication within the organization. And we'll be highlighting here that the organization is using some of the following communication method to communicate with its employees effectively on health and safety procedures and controls. So now we'll be starting our answer and we'll be typically writing what controls this organization is using effectively. So as mentioned in the scenario, they are using video conferencing and computer based meeting tool to be in touch with their employees at home. So this is one of the important point to be discussed, that this is the latest technology which is video conferencing and team based meetings, computer based meetings. They are being used by this organization as a tool to keep in touch with their workers, to update them on the policies and procedures and all that which are newly developed for them. Secondly, there was a meeting called by top management, by managing director, if you remember in the scenario, to do a risk assessment and all that, and to further discuss the findings of risk assessment. So they are also following physical meeting uh, in a very limited way, not for all workers, but for the top management for sure. They are following physical meetings also. They were doing risk assessment and the findings will be shared with all the workers through team meetings. Again, they are using this method to communicate the findings of risk assessment so that workers should know what's going on, what are the further risks and what are the controls. Also, they mentioned that a copy of risk assessment, signed risk assessment, will be placed on notice boards once workers will be coming back to the normal routine. They will have access to the signed copy of risk assessment on the company's bulletin boards or a notice board. This is one of the communication method mentioned. An email on hand sanitizing procedure to be sent to the workers. Again, they are using email as a method of communication to communicate a procedure with their worker. So this is one of the tool used. An email on hand sanitizing procedure to be sent to the workers also. So for both of these controls, for both of these methods, they are using email as a method of communication. They're also using posters method, and they are going to place posters in all washrooms. If you remember in the scenario we mentioned, we have seen that they are going to follow some of the posters which will be placed in all washrooms on sanitizing procedures. Hand sanitizing posters will be placed at team meetings on computer screens also. Hand sanitizing posters will be available at company's intranet also. So intranet is another method of communication used. Additional social distancing procedures will be posted on company's intranet also. So in summarizing this answer, we can see many methods of communication starting from the video conferencing, physical meetings, company's intranet, email methods, and posters and bulletin boards, and all of those are the methods of communication. So the question is of 10 marks. So better you write it in a paragraph format. Each point you have to define in 2 3 lines, and this will be a sufficient answer for question number 2. Guys, looking at your question number 3, the task 3 is benefits of certification to an ISO occupational health and safety management system standards to the organization. Question is, what arguments could you use to help the managing director understand the benefits to an organization of maintaining occupational health and safety management system certification? Total marks are 20 for this question. You should support your answer wherever applicable using relevant information from the scenario. So in this question, guys, for sure you need to refer to some of the sources of information, and you can refer back to your core syllabus book. You can refer to some of the internet sources to see what are the common benefits of a health and safety management system, and you can connect it with the scenario to overcome the problems faced by this organization. We all know that in this scenario, the organization is thinking of discontinuing this certification because of the cost factor. So we need to highlight what can be the benefits of this certification and what can go wrong if they discontinue this certification. Again, you will be starting your answer with highlighting the importance of ISO 45001 Health and Safety Management System, and you need to emphasize on the fact in first paragraph before start that these are very crucial certifications for the organization, and they have to maintain it, they have to carry it on to achieve some of the following benefits. So the first and the most important benefit of a health and safety management system, guys, is the legal compliance. For sure, the objectives are set to achieve legal compliance, and all the system, if you remember the components of your health and safety management system, it start with the policy, organizing, arrangements, planning and implementation, action for improvement, and audits, and all those things. So our first and the most important objective is legal compliance for a health and safety management system. For example, if your health and safety management system is not giving you full compliance to the rules and regulations and laws, it is of no use. So legal compliance is very important. Also, health and safety management systems, they help you in reducing number of incidents and accidents within the organization, since it's a formal approach, step by step approach to identify the risks, to control them, to follow up on them, and the audit function is also checking each and every step. So it helps you in reducing incidents and accidents also. Reduction in potential cost of incidents. We all know that whenever there are incidents or accidents, these are the cost to the business. Damage to equipment or medical cost or different costs. So your formal health and safety management system will help you in reducing those potential costs. Improved productivity with a safe operation. Once the cost is reduced, for sure the productivity and profitability will go high and high. So this is another benefit. Improved goodwill of the organization. Here you need to highlight a little bit more because it is clearly mentioned that this organization is a good organization. They have a health and safety face in the market. Their goodwill is very important. So if you are formally managing your health and safety related matters in a management format, in a management system approach, for sure it will improve your goodwill also. Also, workers' morale will be improved if you are managing with a health and safety management system approach. So these certifications are not only pieces of paper; they are having additional benefits, and these are some of the benefits. There's a competitive advantage over competitors. This is very important. If you are certified organization, for sure the one who is not certified, you have an edge over that organization, and you will be given more importance by the customers, by the clients in the market. Improved communication, consultation, and training arrangements can be achieved by proper health and safety management system. So everything is in a formal shape, in a format. The objectives are defined properly, and there are some tools you are going to use. So it will for sure help you in achieving your good communication, consultation, and training arrangements within the organization. One of the most important benefit of your health and safety management system is it gives you continual improvement over a period of time. For example, today if you are setting some objectives, after 5 years you will be achieving certain point, because every year you are going to change your objectives for betterment and betterment and betterment. So your health and safety management system should give you a continual improvement. Also, improved incident reporting and investigation can be achieved, one of the benefit. Performance check on health and safety through formal audit function. This is very important. If you remember reactive monitoring, we studied in our syllabus. Performance check is very important, guys. Otherwise, you don't know where you are heading is the right way or not. So short-term performance checks, long-term performance checks through internal and external audits can be achieved. And setting and achieving smart objectives. The first part in your health and safety management system, which is the policy phase and even the planning phase, if you remember, we set smart objectives, and those smart objectives are all those things you are going to achieve over a period of time during the year. So, your health and safety management system for sure will give you an advantage that you are setting smart objectives and you are following them up and you are achieving them up. So these are some of the benefits, guys, you can mention in this answer. But again, I would say, since there are 20 marks for this question, don't write it in this format the way you see in this slide. You have to take each point and write 2 3 lines for each point, highlighting the importance, and wherever it is possible, connect it with the scenario that looking at this organization, these are the issues going on, and this is how to overcome. So this is the benefit they will get out of the action taken here. So this is how you need to close, and finally at the end you will be closing out in one paragraph saying that all of above mentioned objectives are very important for an organization to maintain their ISO certifications. So you are strongly suggesting that this organization should also maintain this certification. Friends, your question number 4 is task 4 is applying further control measures, and question number 4 is based on the scenario only, what administrative measures are the organization planning to take that would limit the spread of virus and keep workers safe and healthy? Total marks 20 again. So you need to put effort here, and since The examiner is restricting you to identify administrative controls. There are many administrative controls mentioned in the scenario. You need to just collect that information and reproduce it in your answer. No need to look at other administrative controls in your book or in the other media. All the answer is available in the scenario itself. And we all know that administrative controls are all those controls which are documentary controls, procedural controls, or controls taken by the administration department of an organization or the management of the organization. They have nothing to do with the engineering controls or personal protective controls or some of the other controls, elimination controls. They are typically administrative controls, so we'll be listing down some of the administrative controls in the coming slide. Guys, as per the suggested format, you will be writing one paragraph on administrative controls. What are administrative controls, how they look like, and what is the importance of administrative controls. And then you will be starting your answer part in the body, which is mainly following government guidelines like social distancing and use of PPEs and sanitizing procedure. These are some of the general controls which organization is following, and by default they have to follow these controls because everyone is following these controls and these are government rules and regulations. Additionally, what administrative controls they are following: allowing workers to work from home to avoid spread of virus. This is one of the administrative control. The administration is guiding workers to work from their home, so this is administrative control. Development of procedure to work from home by HSE manager. The procedural controls, any procedure developed or implemented is a administrative control, you should keep in mind. And it is clearly mentioned in the scenario that being HSE manager, you have developed a new procedure to work from home safely. This is one of the administrative control. Proper communication of procedure to work from home is another administrative control. Allowing workers to use latest technology to work from home. We discussed earlier also that they are focusing on many latest technologies, use of video conferencing, use of computer based meetings, use of companies intranet. So all of these things are administrative controls. Short meetings of 30 minutes weekly to reduce the risk of stress levels on workers. This is another admin control. Okay, the organization is thinking far beyond, and they thought of workers might be developing some stress levels due to the long sittings and long meetings on computers and all that. So they limit it to 30 minutes meeting every week, once a week. So this is another admin control. For one-to-one meetings also, they have defined a different meeting structure where a worker can go for one-to-one meeting with a supervisor or with a senior. This is admin control. Development of formal risk assessment and proper communication of that risk assessment through different medias with concerned employees to return back to the work safely. This is administrative control, another documentary control. They have done a thorough risk assessment, and this risk assessment findings were discussed in the meeting, and out of that finding they developed certain procedures and all that. So this is all administration work, administrative control, I would say. Another administrative control this organization has defined in the scenario is extension of contract with cleaning company for more extensive cleaning services. Okay, so contractual arrangements are also administrative controls. So they have extended their contract with the cleaning company to come for more extensive and frequent cleaning services to avoid contamination of the surfaces at workplaces, to avoid spread of virus. Development of hand washing and hygiene procedures for workers is another administrative control. They have developed a procedure for hygiene, hand washing, and even sanitizing procedure, and they have communicated it through internet, through intranet, through emails. So All of this activity is administrative control, and development of hand sanitizing procedure for worker is another control, administrative control. So guys, if you look at all of these controls, 10, 11 controls are all administrative controls which this organization has defined clearly in the scenario. Again, you will be writing this in a paragraph format, short paragraph format, each point. 2, 3 lines for each point, 2, 3 lines for each point, highlighting things, because the total marks awarded for this question are 20 marks, and you need to justify your answer accordingly. You cannot go with the bullet points as mentioned in this slide. Just to save some time, guys, I have listed down the points and I'm explaining it, but for sure when the exams comes you have to follow a different format of answer, and at the end you need to write another concluding paragraph that administrative control in such kind of risks and hazards are very important. Okay, since there is nothing physical, no machine, no equipment, no work environment, so you have to heavily rely on administrative controls only. So that's why all of these administrative controls must be taken good care of, properly developed, implemented, and followed by workers. Other administrative controls are monitoring also. If you remember at the end of your scenario, it is clearly defined that the organization will have a check on the workers whether they are following it or not. They have developed a disciplinary procedure which is attached to these procedures. If somebody is not following these procedures, for sure there's a disciplinary action and all that. They are going to do behavioral check and observations and surveys. So all of these controls are administrative controls, guys. You need to mention them clearly in your answer. So that's the end of this question and answer. So friends, I tried to cover your 4 questions and answers, but keep one thing in mind that the way I answered here is just to save some time and to quickly discuss with you all the 4 questions in one video. You are not going to reproduce your answers the way I did it here. These are only guidelines, these are only bullet points. For sure, looking at the marks, total marks, you need to justify your answer accordingly. You cannot say that for a 20 marks question 10 bullet points are enough. You have to define it. You need to write opening paragraph, closing paragraph. You need to list it down in a short paragraph format each point by connecting it properly with the scenario. That is the right approach to answer the exam. Okay, so hopefully you like the video. Hopefully I tried to cover many points, and for the remaining questions I'll be coming up with another video very soon. So stay in touch, stay safe, see you soon.